Hey, so this is the start to a reading vlog. I haven't done a vlog in a while. I took my little hiatus and I just haven't done one in a while. This one is not centered around a piece of reading exactly. I just thought, you know, I haven't done one in a while. I guess I will kind of do one. So I think I mentioned this before, but I am anxious about getting my book of the month books read because I skipped in April because none of them just really called out to me, and I have so many on my little book of the month bookshelf. So I skipped April. I hadn't skipped since sometime last summer. So I feel like I have a lot of books to read. So I've been trying to concentrate on them. One of them that I'm reading right now is, you can see the little book of the month symbol, is Honey Girl. I take the jackets off, so it's Honey Girl. You know, see? And I am about, you can see, I'm about 60% done with it. It's not very long. It's not taking me very long. Like when I sit down and read it, I can knock out 20 or 30 pages without even breaking a sweat. It was sweaty when I read. But as soon as I finish, excuse me, I'm scooching. Okay, as soon as I finish Honey Girl, I'm going to start one of the book selections for the Book Bitch Literary Society, my little book club that I'm in. And we picked two. We picked a saucy pick and a tame pick. Because some of us are a little more adventurous than others. I am adventurous, but this book has me nervous. So the book that I'm going to start up whenever I finish Honey Girl is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker-Martin. So yeah, just the cover of the book makes me go, So this book is an apocalyptic kind of horror book that has to do with gender and identity. And this is, and I've heard that it's also very bloody and gory, so I'm okay with blood and gore, but it's not a go-to for me. So again, I'm kind of but this one is about Beth and Fran, who are traveling around the New England coast, and they hunt feral men and they harvest their organs. And then there's another character named Robbie. And so the way it works is it's apocalyptic in that if you have too much testosterone, then you become this zombie thing, this monster of sorts, and you're very, ravenous and whatever. And so, yeah, they, and I think Beth and Fran are transgender, and they are having to deal with, these scary feral zombie men things, but also turfs and just, the apocalyptic things that you deal with, apocalyptic stuff. So I think it's the apocalyptic and the goriness of it that make me, someone going around chopping off balls. Okay, cool. But and then the cover just has me going, oh my, okay, prepare myself. So that's kind of what I plan on maybe talking about a little bit in this vlog. You guys know I read multiple books at a time, so I'm also at this moment reading Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne on my Kindle, and I'm about halfway done with that one right now. But on my Kindle, it's when my husband turns off the light to go to bed, I can read my Kindle in the dark right before I go to sleep. And so that one is those are slower reads for me because I just read a few pages before I go to sleep because I don't usually go to sleep before him. And then the I'm also reading The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, another one of my Book of the Month books, and it was nominated for Book of the Year, so that also kind of spurred me on with that. The other pick from the Book Bitch Literary Society, like this was the spicy one because it's a little bit out of the comfort zone for some, me included. We also have My Fine Fellow, which is a historical, I think it's YA, and it's a retelling of My Fair Lady. So that's the tame pick, and so that's on my radar to pick up. I have so many books. I need to honestly do like a book buying ban for myself and just try to ingest as many of these books as I can. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to finish up this one either, if not today, then tomorrow for sure. And then I will start this one. I could just go ahead and start this one, but I don't like to have more than about 4 or 5, no more than 6 books go in at a time. And some of y'all are like, what? They stay differentiated in my head. It's fine. It's cool. So anyway, all right, well, thanks for, sorry I look so gross. I'm taking a mental health day, and part of my mental health day is like not doing my hair or makeup or anything. So yeah. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Hey, so it is Wednesday, April the 20th. Oh, my light just dimmed. Okay. So anyway, it's Wednesday, April the 20th. It's about 8 p.m. I finished Honey Girl. I'll show you. Shaking the camera. I finished Honey Girl just a little bit ago. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It's sort of marketed as like sapphic romance, and yes, there is sapphic romance, but I feel like it's really more of I wouldn't even say coming of age, but it's like a millennial type I guess, like growth development, kind of someone dealing with their adulthood, I guess. So anyway, shaking the whole thing. Anyway, so I decided that when I finished that, I could start Manhunt. And I mentioned this in the previous clip. So this is the, spicier book pick for the Book Bitch Literary Society this month. So I went ahead and got the paperback. I like a physical book more than I like a Kindle book. It's like my Kindle, it's like I read slower on my Kindle for some reason. Like I just can't, I don't know, I just don't focus or whatever. But I will say I hate this book cover. Like the gory dripping ball sack. I just don't. I didn't need to see that. And also what I don't like is it's one of those paperbacks where the front is like, has this like, and it's more dripping balls. Ugh. And so yeah, I don't like that. That is not, but the cover itself is like this like velvety sort of matte finish. I do like that. It's not that long. The writing is kind of dense on the page, but it's only like 290 something. It's not even 300 pages. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to read. It depends on, I guess, how grossed out I am. But I think what I'll do, cats, I think what I'll do is I'll read about 20 to 30 pages maybe. Shoot for like 20 pages before I go to bed tonight. Because it's just 8 o'clock and I don't, And then I'm pushing through my Book of the Month books. So the Book of the Month book that I'm going to pick up next is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. The Honey Girl was like feelings and ladies and romance a little bit. This is about fathers who are unlikely allies who are going to band together to like avenge their son's deaths. And that's basically all I know, but I felt like that would be different from what I, like, because if I read, I'm one of those people that if I read a lot of, say, like romance or something, then the next book I read, I don't want it to be that. Or if I read something that's like a thriller, then the next book I read, I want it to not be quite so thrillery. But anyway, okay, so that's my update. Finish that. I'm gonna pick up Manhunt first because I'm kind of dreading it, and I'm gonna try to get my pages read. And whatever time I have left, I'll maybe start Razorblade Tears. Yeah, and then I'll check in with you guys probably tomorrow. So I'll let you know, like maybe some initial thoughts on what's going on in those. If I read enough to like have initial thoughts, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey, so I didn't film a clip yesterday because I didn't really get a whole lot read, so I didn't really think there was much to say. It's Friday night, it's kind of late. I came home this afternoon after work and just like took a nap, and it turned into like a big honkin' nap, and so now it's late and I'm up. Yeah, one of those. Okay, so anyway, that's why I look all out of whack, because I slept in my hair and my makeup. So reading update. I am on page, like just over page 50 in this book. So that puts me between 15 and 20%. So I felt like maybe I could give some first impressions, from the beginning of this book. It is action-packed, that's for sure, which is common in apocalyptic horror. So that's not really surprising. In between the bits of action, you get sort of like memories, flashback type things, thoughts from the characters. So it's one of those where you're piecing together information about the characters in the midst of all the action and like the world building. So what's going on in the book is there's this virus, I guess, of some sort that is striking people based on your hormones. And it seems as though if you have up to a certain level of testosterone in you, you get the virus, and it does really terrible things to your body and causes you to basically be like a rabid animal type thing. Like you're trying to attack others. And what it appears to be is that once the virus takes over you, like there's different levels of it, phases of it, but once it fully grips you, you are like sniffing out those who have estrogen, and you're chasing after them, trying to rape and eat them, kill them. So the two main characters so far, because I think there's going to be 3. I think I've met the third one, but the 2 that you start with are Beth and Fran. They are trans women. And from the very beginning, you see that they have issues with like a band of TERFs. And I'm not quite clear on all of it, but they're in the New England area. We're like looking at like Boston, Connecticut, like that area of the country. And I'm not quite sure when they are, but far enough that civilization has basically like ground to a halt. You don't have like electricity or running water. You don't have like the roads are deteriorating. Like there's no like infrastructure maintenance or whatever. And they are, like, it's hard for them to use certain things because after, you know, there's a shelf life for a lot of the things we use, and we take it for granted because they keep making it because our society is still running. So there are things that they can't use. And one disturbing thing that I found out pretty quickly is that, you know, for these trans women, they would be on a regimen of like hormone therapy. Well, you know, you don't have pharmaceutical companies doing that. So one of the ways that they're making sure that they have enough estrogen is they eat the testicles of these rabid monster guy things. Because I guess there's like stored up estrogen in there. Ew. Like, yeah, like when I read that, I was like, oh my, okay. So, and then there's a third character that has been introduced and is mentioned on the back. So this isn't a spoiler. It's mentioned on the back, named Robbie, who is a trans man. And I believe that these three characters are going to like link up. The action is kind of pushing me through and keeping going. It's gross, but it's horror, so apocalyptic horror is gross, right? Lots of injury and blood and, you know, death and stuff like that. They're like in the internal monologues and the memories and the thoughts of these characters, there's a lot of like specific word usage, like, I don't know, jargon, I guess. I'm not, like, I'm a cis woman, so like I don't necessarily know all of those. So there are a couple of times when they're referred to things and I'm kind of confused. I don't really know what that exactly means. I might have to like Google a couple of things, I guess. So the writing is choppy. There's a lot, there's the use of a lot of sentence fragments. And there's chapters, but the chapters are broken up by these like short episodic vignette type things. So like you read like a page or 2 pages, page and a half or whatever, and then you get to the next thing and they're kind of broken up by like a symbol in between. And then and it's also broken up into parts. Like there's like, I think there's 3 different parts. So it's fast to read, I guess. Am I enjoying it? I don't know. I feel really, like there's not a place for my feelings because it's very like you have these trans characters, you have these TERF characters, but like I don't fit into either one of those categories, so I feel dissociated from it. And so like one of the ideas that is starting to surface in my mind is that this is like a worst case scenario version of this world, because I like it's pessimistic. There we go. Pessimistic in its view of like how people would necessarily treat every other person. But you know, like when you're looking at apocalyptic literature, like who knows how you would really behave and act when society breaks down. Like it's easy for us to sit in our homes with our electricity and all of our odds and ends and, you know, whatever, and say, oh, I would never, you know, but yeah, I don't, like, it feels very like cut and dry, like this or that. So I don't really know. And also it's set in a part of the country that I've never been to, and so maybe the mindset there is different. I don't really know, because y'all, I'm in Texas, so you know, we have wide open spaces and guns galore. So like I kind of, when I read any apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic books, horror, YA, whatever, like I often think of like, and especially when it's set somewhere else, usually it's set somewhere else, I think, what would Southeast Texas be like? What would we be doing? Because I guess we're all very like centralized in our own minds, like, oh, it's all about me. So anyway, I don't know that I'm really enjoying it right now. I'm wondering if it needs to be approached, and I think I need to read farther into the book to know, or to like really have a good idea about this, if it needs to be approached as in more of a metaphor. Like the entire thing is a metaphor for the way that trans women, or maybe trans people in general, feel in our society and world. That might be one way in which to absorb what's going on, the thoughts and ideas that are being shared in here. But what I'm getting from it is a lot of anger and a lot of negative feelings and a lot of hurt. And okay, so I am interested to see like how things go, what else happens, even though I feel a little distance from it. So anyway, that was a long rambling first thought. Yeah, and I'm only like, what, just over 50 pages, so I still have like 250 more roughly to go. So we'll see. It's early on in order, like, but these are just sort of, hey. Whew. So it is Tuesday, April the 26th. It's in the evening. I've got laundry behind me. Like I'm in the living area and there's like a laundry station because our washer and dryer are over that way in that little nook. Anyway, y'all don't care. I am a third of the way through this. I didn't read any of it yesterday. I actually should have filmed this update like day before yesterday, but I got busy and didn't get around to it. But I'm a third of the way through this. So, thoughts. I think that I've gotten to the point where I have encountered all of the primary characters. And I'm not enjoying this. I have to push myself to read it because it's uncomfortable, which I think, I think that's the point. Like, I think that the author, I've been thinking about it, like, about my reaction. What does that mean? Okay, so, like, there's, like, two levels of it. On, like, sort of an intellectual level, sort of, like, looking at it, the way the book is written. It's written in these, like, short episodic things. I think that the dialogue with the characters is more, like, quippy one-liner type things. It's like, okay, have you ever been around someone and it's like they're trying too hard? Like, they're sitting around thinking of things to say and then they say them and then they're waiting for like a certain kind of reaction. That's what it feels like. Like they're thinking really hard about what they're saying to have the biggest effect, and it comes across as trying too hard to me. There's a lot of like sentence fragments and things, like it doesn't flow very well. And I think that, yeah, like, I don't know, like the writing style doesn't really mix with me. As far as like the plot and the characters, right now where I stand, like a third of the way in, all of the characters are unlikable. Like, I don't like anybody. Like, I'm not rooting for anyone. I don't know if if that was the intention, but that's what's happening with me as a reader. Like, I think they're all gross and unlikable. Like, I wouldn't want to be around anybody in this book. Plot-wise, some things have happened. There's a lot of action, but it's like small action, like intermediary action. Like, I don't think that, like, the big piece of the plot is, I think, moving kind of slowly. Like, I don't know. So that's where I stand on that. Like, I'm not going to DNF. I know some of y'all are like, just DNF it. I want to finish it. I've already, you know, gotten this far. Like, I've gotten that far into it. I want to finish it. I just need to, like, in fact, here in just a minute, I'll probably sit down and read, you know, 20 or so pages. Like, that seems to be like really easy. Like it reads fast. Like, I can sit down and just read 20 pages, no big deal. So I'll do that. I'll just keep doing that until I get it done. The book club meets on Sunday. So, like, a soft desire to finish it by Sunday. Really, there's a soft desire, much firmer desire to finish it as soon as possible so I can put it away and not have to deal with it. But our group meets Sunday evening. But I don't know that I have to have it done in order to, like, talk about it. I don't know who else is going to read it because we picked 2 different titles to choose from. And so I don't know if anyone's reading this one or if they're reading the other one. And I haven't started the other one at all. I mean, it's a YA, like, sort of historical retelling. I don't think that it would take me long to read it at all. In fact, this book is helping me get through some of my other books because when I finish a section, like when I sit down and do a read of it, I read something else as like a palate cleanser. And I'm not saying that I only like to read things that are light and fluffy and make me feel good. No, I read hard-hitting things. I like to read things that will make me uncomfortable, but like, there needs to be a purpose to it, and I don't know that I truly understand the purpose of the discomfort that I feel. Like, if that was the intention in the writing of the book, or if it says more about me and like how I see the world and how I see gender and how I see all those things. So I don't know, y'all. So yeah, I'll stop this clip here. I know I haven't been like putting any like fun B-roll or anything, but honestly, it's like the end of the school year, so I go to work and I come home and I'm tired and I read and I have dinner and then I go to bed. And like the weekends, like this past weekend, we did like housework. I don't want to see B-roll of housework, so anyway. Okay, I'll stop this here and I will see you guys in the next clip. Hey, so it's been a minute, well, you know, weeks, since I filmed a clip for this vlog. So it is May 14th. Yeah, so I was struggling with this book a lot, and at the beginning of the month, I got to talk to my friend Casey. Shout out to you, Casey. She finished it, and so we were kind of I had only read like the first third of it, so we couldn't really talk too much about it, but I was kind of like, here's what I'm thinking so far, and talking to her helped me like want to just go ahead and finish it. And also I think what I really will have to do is like read it less for like characterization and plot and those kind of elements, and more for like what it means more as a metaphor. I'm not like, I can handle body horror, I can handle horror in general, but there's just some other pieces to this that are just sort of, I'm just struggling with, like just wanting to even pick it up. Like it, but okay, so anyway, I've said all that, I'm just repeating myself. So I am about 40% done, so almost halfway done. When I pick it up and I read it, I can get through a few pages, like it's not really a big deal. But I just need to, like, part of what I've done is like not picked it up, because like it's, you know, I have to be in the right headspace. But one of the things is like just sort of like setting myself like small goals, like, okay, I'm gonna read it for 20 minutes and then I can read something else. Because you guys know, like, I read multiple books at a time. And partly is because if I read something like dark like this, if I don't allow myself to read something more uplifting, funny, more positive, you know, kind of things, then I'll just bog down and then I'll end up reading very few books in a year because I'll just not read. So yeah, so I'm going to keep going with this. It's Saturday, so I have more time to read, and I'm kind of hoping that some of the aspects of it will be more intriguing. Like Casey kind of alluded to some things, and I was like, okay. And then I saw a friend yesterday, and we kind of like, I was like, have you heard of this book? And they had only heard about like the celebrity death in it that's written into it. So, and I haven't gotten to that part yet. So I'm like, okay, I want to get to those things. So that's that clip. Like in between, you know, reading, I've been going to work, reading other things. You know, we had Mother's Day. So last weekend, like I was spending time with like my kids, but also, like the other mothers in my life. So anyway, okay, so I'll stop this clip here, and then I hopefully will pick it up sooner and with more progress in the book and something else to say. Yeah, I don't like having a vlog that stretches over so much time, but what can you do, right? Like, what, but yeah, I'm not going to DNF it. Like, it's not so bad that I'll have to DNF. Like, I'm more apt to DNF a book over it being boring to me, or yeah, as opposed to being just off-putting. That's just, yeah, my history of that. But I don't DNF very often. In fact, I thought it would be an interesting video or something to like go back and see what books I've DNF'd and like have a video where I talk about like, okay, I've DNF'd this book, I've DNF'd this book, I've DNF'd this book, here's why I DNF'd these books. So that would be maybe interesting. I don't know. But I'm not going to DNF this book. I'm going to keep reading. So, alright. I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey. I finished it. I finished this book. So, it is Saturday, May the 21st. So, I've been reading this book for like a month. And I could have finished it a lot sooner. I finished it last night, but it was like close to bedtime, so I did not bother to, you know, get up and film a closing clip for this vlog. No, I didn't like it. And it has nothing to do with like trans issues. It has nothing to do with even really the gore. Because you know it's horror, so like body horror is like that's a part of horror sometimes. And I think I talked about this in earlier clips, but I just never really kind of vibed with the writing style, and some of the things that were going on in this were sort of offensive as far as like different ways in which people could be offended. Like there was a specific comment about like an indigenous character, and I didn't like that. I did not like that line. Like I read it and just I recoiled physically. Like ugh, why? And to some extent it's about like maybe cultivating complex characters that are unlikable or that are flawed or whatever. But there's a difference between being unlikable, like building someone who's unlikable, and just being like offensive. And I don't think that being hurt in the past is a good reason to be hurtful. You know what I mean? So like it is troubling to me. So I really didn't enjoy it. I will say that the last third of the book was more action-packed. There was a lot of action, and that kind of pushed the pace and pushed me through it some. But I already had kind of like a, ugh, you know, and I was just ready for it to be over. And you could kind of see like where it was going. Anyway, so that decreased the enjoyment because I kind of knew where it was going. I kind of saw what was happening, what was going. There was a character who has, I don't know, a pseudo redemption arc. No, there was no redemption for me. And then at the end, there's a death. I mean, I won't spoil it, but there's a death. And the way that it's written, it's as though the author is encouraging the reader to feel a certain depth of emotion for this character. And I just did not. I did not. I really didn't connect. And it had little to do with anything except the writing. Like, the writing did not create a character in which I felt the connection. So then I didn't feel the emotions when things would happen. And so, yeah, I don't know, tricky. I know that, and I ended up giving it just 2 stars. Like, for a while, I was gonna go with a 3-star, which is just sort of like it's okay. But a 3-star kind of shares this idea that there was some enjoyment, and I didn't enjoy it. Like, I didn't enjoy it. There were some offensive things, and it just, I don't understand the purpose. Like, if there's a purpose for some things, then okay, but I legitimately don't understand the purpose. I kind of feel like I was reading someone's revenge fantasy on like Tumblr. And I just don't want to read things like that. Like, I like horror, and I'm okay with body horror even. I'm okay with like apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic, like, you can kill people in books. But to just be angry and vengeful, just I don't need it. I don't need that. I don't want that. Like, that's not I don't want to be a part of that. So that is it. I was hoping that I would enjoy it more, get more out of it. I don't even know what I was hoping, but like, it's not fun to watch a vlog where someone is not enjoying themselves, but I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, it is, like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I liked it. So hopefully my next vlog will be better, and I'm in that, like, next week is the last week of school for me, so hopefully I will have more time, and I'll have more energy, and I'll get to do fun things. Might be sweaty, but you know. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have ideas, thoughts, or whatever, if you would like to have a spoilery discussion, let me know. And we could do that, and I could be more specific about some of the things that I think about this book. But like, yeah, I don't know. I recommend it if you like really want to get into some like heavy body horror, and you're interested in reading a book about trans characters from a trans author. But beyond that, like, that's as far as I can get with it on that. So I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I will stop this vlog here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.